Now, I'm sitting here drinking my yummy cup of coffee, eating my breakfast, and my doorbell rings. Who could that possibly be early this morning? Oh my gosh. So what I do is, of course, I look out the window to see who it is. And it's my next door neighbor, Sheryl. The busy body of this entire neighborhood. It's like she doesn't have a life. I mean, I think her husband sends her outside, like a dog, in the morning because he gets tired of her too. One time I was watching, I had my windows open, I was watching, and she walked up and down the neighborhood and knocked on each and every person's door. We don't know why. We don't know why she does it. So anyway, I open the door and I'm like, "Good morning, Sheryl. What do you need? I am drinking my coffee, eating my breakfast, and I really don't want to be bothered." And she's like, I'm so sorry, but my husband and I, this is how she talks. My husband and I, we are going on vacation, and we were wondering if you could watch the house while we're gone, and it would be very much appreciated. And I'm like, Sheryl, I know for a fact that your house is completely surrounded by cameras. It's almost like you guys are Fort Knox over there. And she's like, yes, I know. But, it would make me feel a lot better if, you did that for me. And it would be very well appreciated. I'm like, fine, Sheryl. I will watch your house while you guys are going on vacation. Is there anything else that you need? And she's like, no. Well, there's one more thing. And I'm just like, spill it. I'm doing something. Could you make sure that Larry and his kids don't go in my yard? No, Sheryl. That's between you and Larry and his kids. You have a nice day. I am just trying to have a cup of coffee and my breakfast. At least she doesn't come over here every single day. I just happen to have my blinds up that day, and I guess she figured, ooh, Sharon is up. Let me go and bother her. The life of me. Okay. I just got back from the grocery store. And, every time before I go to the grocery store, I always ask my grown kids, what do you want? Write it down so I can make sure that I don't forget. So I go to the store like I do every single Tuesday. This is like my life, going to the store every Tuesday just to pick up a few things. I mean, I've gotten to the point where it's just better to go weekly instead of doing it monthly. So one of my children, I get back and, start putting the groceries away or whatever. And they come downstairs and they're like, Mom, did you get my almond milk? Yeah, I got your almond milk. The same kind of almond milk I get every single week. And so she opens the refrigerator and looks and she goes, I don't like this almond milk anymore. I found out that, it has this and this and this in it. And I'm like, okay, like I've told you guys from the very beginning, anything changes, any different product you want, different brand you want, let me know. She just stares at me like this. Mom, we had this discussion the other day, and I was telling you about the almond milk that I had been drinking and that I wanted the different kind of almond milk. I said, you had that conversation with me, 2 or 3 days ago? So then that meant that you should have wrote it down again on the list, that you write everything else down. This is what I'm talking about. Being a mother to young adult children I think it's worse than being a mother to toddlers. At least a toddler and a baby will accept whatever you give it and not complain, not fight back. Just say, ooh, mommy's feeding me. Mommy's giving me food. Mommy's doing this for me. Yay. No, that's not how it is. So now, I guess she's not going to drink the almond milk. And the next time she wants the different brand, I told her, you better write it down, or I'm going to get the exact same thing you've been asking for the last month and a half. Gosh, my life. Okay. I just got here to where one of my daughters told me to meet her. She said that she went out with one of her friends, and for whatever reason, her friend had to leave abruptly and left her. Now, I just got here. I mean, I was out shopping, is what I love to do, is to shop. And she comes and she texts me saying, Mom, could you come and pick me up at such and such? My friend Becky, she had to leave. She had an emergency. And I'm like, she had to leave and she had an emergency? She couldn't take you back home? And she's like, no, Mom, she couldn't. I'm like, isn't Becky your best friend? And she's like, yeah, she is, but can you come pick me up? So I'm here where she told me to pick her up. I've been here for 20 minutes now. Texting her, calling her, leaving voicemails on her phone. Nothing. Not picking up the phone, not texting me, not doing anything. So I'm just like, where is my child? Like, she gets stolen? I mean, what is going on? I just got a text from her saying, Mom, Becky came back and she got me and I'm at home now. She's at home now. I've been out here for 20 minutes looking for her. I mean, I had to just get back in the car. I got back in the car, walked around looking for my child. And she texts me and she says, I am so sorry, Mom, but I'm at home. Becky felt bad and the emergency wasn't as bad as she thought. And she came back and she got me. Why can you tell me this? I said, how long have you been at home? And she's like, oh, well, shortly after I text you, she kind of came back and I'm just like, why did you not text me or call me? She goes, because I didn't want you to get mad. I'm already mad. I'm already mad. I could have been home 40 minutes ago. Oh, my goodness. I'm telling you, having young adult kids drives you crazy. Oh, I guess I'm going home. I have no idea how I get myself involved in these things. And I always say every single month that I'm not going to do it. But every single month I seem to get roped back in. So my daughter has this really great job, which requires her to do a little bit of traveling sometimes. Well, it always seems that every single time she needs to get her oil change and her tire changed on her vehicle, it falls on the time that she needs to travel. And she's always like, Mom, can you help me out? I'm like, why don't you ask your sister? She's like, she never does anything for me. Now, they're supposed to be really close. Like, my daughters are supposed to be really close. Anytime that they have a problem with me, they always gang up on me. But when she needs me, all of a sudden her sister they're not the best of friends. They're not any of this. So anyway, I'm here at the dealership taking her car, of course. And I asked her, I said, well, what about your boyfriend? Mom, I'm not going to have him drive my car. And I'm like, why not? He's your boyfriend. Have you ever seen him drive? I love making fun of my daughter's voice because every single time she has these issues, she's always dragging herself like she's like slow or something. Like she used to do this when she was a little kid. Like I would wake her up and I'd be like, it's time to get up or whatever, and she'd be like, Mom, don't you see how tired I am? I went to bed at 8:00 and I did not get all of my sleep. This was my child. She still does the same thing. So of course I'm being a good mom, as always. And I'm sure people can relate that you always seem to be there for your kid, but your kid is never there for you. So anyway, I guess it's going to be one of those days where I'm going to be needed. Oh my gosh. So yeah. So you guys have a lovely day, and I'm here at the dealership. I don't know how long it's going to take, and she's going to want to expect me to pay for it, but this time I went in her purse and I took out her credit card. I know that's bad, but hey, I'm not paying for it. At least I'm here. So yeah, I'm sure I'll get a phone call and be like, Mom, somebody got my credit card and they charged it at the dealership that I always take your car. This is my life. I've just accepted it. This is my life. I am running late. Oh my gosh. My alarm did not go off. I thought I set it, but obviously I didn't. Now, I'm going to be late. I am going to be late. What I don't understand is, okay, every single morning we have a routine. Every single morning. I wake up, my daughters wake up. And today I wasn't out there because normally we go out and we sit and, sometimes we have, coffee together and sometimes we don't. So this morning I hear the garage go up and go down. Not one time did anyone come in the room to check to see why I wasn't awake. Now we're talking about a routine, like every single day, that we interact with each other around the exact same time. So I get up, I look at the clock, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm late. So I text my daughter, I'm like, why didn't you wake me up? And she texts maybe about 15 minutes later, and she's like, I love exaggerating my daughter's voice because, this is how I read it. She's like, Mom, first of all, I just got to work. And second of all, I just figured you wanted to sleep in. When have I ever slept in? When? Since you've been alive on this earth, when have I slept in? And she's like, well, you're up now, Mom. So I love you and I will see you later. And she sends me kissy faces or whatever, the emojis that they do. So yeah, I don't understand this whole thing that we got going on, because when they were in school, not one time did I not make sure that they got up on time. Not one time did I not make sure they got to school on time. Not one time if they missed the bus that I did not take them to school. And not one time did I ever complain about it. But all they do is complain, and all they do is find reasons not to cooperate. So now I'm late for work. So I guess I better get myself started and moved on. I don't know why I expect them to be like me, because it's not going to happen. And they ever have kids, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch, and I'm probably going to laugh hysterically. And they're going to be like, what's wrong, Mom? And I'm going to be like, welcome. I don't even know where to begin. Now, last night, the three of us went out to eat. Our Friday night, fun night go out. My 2 daughters and me. So, anyway, of course, I decided to, treat myself and have some ribs. Now, mind you, every week, my daughters are always doing something different. So all of a sudden now, they're on this we don't eat meat thing going on. So they ordered them a salad or something. Anything, I don't even remember. A baked potato, I don't remember exactly what they ordered. But of course, all they did was talk about how it's not good to eat ribs and all this. They just give me all this really hard time about it. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm eating it. So this morning I wake up and I'm like, you know what? I didn't finish all my ribs. So I'm going to come in and have ribs for breakfast. I open up the refrigerator. My ribs are gone. They are gone. There's only 3 of us that live here. Only 3. So of course I go upstairs and I knock on their door and I'm just like, did you eat my ribs? And my oldest daughter is like, no, I didn't eat your ribs, Mom. Why are you knocking on my door early this morning? She closes the door. So I go to the younger of the 2. I knock on the door and I'm just like, hey, it's your mom. Did you eat my ribs? She opens the door really slow. And she's like, Mom, I'm so sorry to tell you, but gosh, I woke up 3 in the morning and I had this hunger pain that was so intense. And I remember that you had those ribs downstairs in the refrigerator, so I ate them. I said, but weren't you the one complaining about how meat is bad for you? She was like, yeah, Mom, but that salad did not fill me up. I really wanted to strangle her. But I remembered that life in prison is far worse. I guess I'm going to have to go get me some more ribs. I am so excited. I am going out on my first date in 7 years. My husband he passed away 7 years ago, and pretty much, I've just been the mom with my girls, and, since now that they're, grown adults, I kind of decided, hey, let me see what's out there. And so I met this guy about 6 months ago. We've been talking on the phone, that kind of thing. We haven't actually went out on our first date on our own. My daughters had the opportunity to meet him, and when they met him, they liked him, and, they were like, oh, he's pretty cool or whatever. So, I told them today, hey, we're going to go out on our first date by ourselves, and, my youngest daughter, and I was like, this is what I was looking at, I was showing her this, I was like, what do you think about this shirt? And she's like, So I was like, well, what do you think about this? And she was like, So she's like, Mom, Cissy and I have decided that we're going to go out with you on the date. And I'm like, go out with me? What? And she's like, yeah, we don't trust this guy, and we just want to make sure that our mom comes back home. And I'm like, I'm going to come back home. I mean, I'm driving my own car. He's driving his car. I'm going to meet him at the restaurant. We're going to have a lovely dinner. I'm going to come back home. He's going to go back to his home. She's like, no, that's not good enough. And I'm just like, well, it's good enough for me. I am a grown woman. And she's like, well, I'll tell you what. If you do not let us go on your own accord, we are going to follow you to where you're going, and then we're going to sit across from you, and we're going to make all these different noises and embarrass you. How about that? And I'm like, you would really do that? She's like, remember when I was in grade school and I told you about that guy that liked me? So you decided to come eat lunch with me and you sat across the table from him and you made all of these crazy noises to make him think that I was from a Looney Tune crazy family? I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. And she's like, well, that's what we're going to do to you. So it's either you let us go on a date with you and enjoy your time with him while we're there, and we're just going to embarrass you. So I called him and let him know, and we're all going on. Okay. I don't even know where to start. Usually on Saturdays, me and my girlfriends, we go out, we go shopping, we have a late lunch, just do the girl thing. My phone is being blown up. Like, my daughter is calling me nonstop, leaving me voicemails, texting me, sending me emojis of crying. And I'm just like, okay, what is going on? So, I've totally ignored it because I'm just like, my Saturdays. My Saturdays. I'm not going to deal with any of your drama. So then, I start walking back to my car, whatever, and the car is driving, beside me, and I'm just like, okay, what is going on? So I turn and I look. It's my daughter's boyfriend. I'm like, okay. So he stops, and he's like, hey, and I'm just like, hey, what's up? And he's like, can I talk to you? And I'm just like, yeah, sure. Is everything okay? And he's like, no. And he just starts crying. I'm just like, why is he crying? So then I'm like, being a mom, I'm like, what's wrong with you? You okay? And he's like, your daughter broke up with me. She broke up with you? Like, you guys have been going out for like the last couple of years. Why did she break up with you? He's like, well, she told me that. And I'm just like, why is he crying? Why is he crying? And he's like, she said since I didn't take her out, last night because my friends came in from out of town and we wanted to hang out and she wanted to go and I told her that it's just a guy's night and she just like went completely ballistic and I went over there to try to comfort her this morning and she just like whatever. I even bought her flowers and she threw them at me and I just don't know what to do. And I'm like, so what does that have to do with me? And he's like, well, can you talk to her? I said, talk to her? Yeah, sure. I'll talk to her. What do you want me to say? And he was like, can you tell her that I want all of my t-shirts that I left over at the house, and if she doesn't want to talk to me, then that's fine. I'm like, t-shirts? So you don't want to get back with her? He's like, no. And it's such a beautiful day this morning. I thought I'd come out here and sit on the back porch, get away from all of the craziness that's going in the house. I knew this was going to happen with my daughter breaking up with her 2-year relationship with her boyfriend. To be young again and to be in love again, I could remember that when I first met my husband. We had, I think we broke up twice during our courtship. So yeah, it kind of brings back memories. But he's a good guy. I mean, he really is. He's been sending her a bunch of flowers. The entire house has like 5 or 6 bouquets. And all she's doing is crying and I'm telling her, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Just let the process go through. But how us females can be. So I'm just like, just sit in it. Allow it to be processed. She doesn't want to hear that. She doesn't want to hear that. So I'm just gonna let her sit through it, because there's absolutely nothing I can do. I mean, I don't really remember my mom really being involved in any of my relationships. She either liked them or she didn't like them. So I'm going to take her advice, that you just have to let your kids go through. I know this part of my life isn't that comedic right now, but I guess once she goes through the process and allows it to, do what it does, then I think she'll be back to normal and it'll be fun again. It'll be fun. So right now, she's not even talking to me, really. She's just crying. And so we'll see what happens. Oh, gosh. We'll see what happens. I had to come outside. It's like living in a war zone. I mean, my youngest daughter and her boyfriend broke up, and it has been clash after clash. Okay, her sister was like, we're going to have like a little brunch get together, invite some friends over, and, just enjoy, going into the summer months. And I'm just like, yeah, cool. That sounds great. I'll invite the guy that I'm talking to over, and, a couple of my girlfriends and their husbands, that kind of thing. And, she's go, well, I'm going to invite Becky. And I'm just like, okay, she's your best friend. And she's like, I'm going to invite my sister's boyfriend. And I'm just like, did you tell her? And she's like, no, I'm going to make it a surprise. Now, I have two daughters, and they're totally opposite. One avoids conflict. The other one loves conflict, which the older one loves. The older one loves conflict. So I'm like, do you think that's going to be a good idea? I mean, I don't think your sister's going to be too happy if he's here. She's like, no, Mom, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. So I'm like, hey, are you going to tell her? And she's like, nope, everyone's just going to come, and it'll be great, Mom. And I'm just like, okay. I said, as long as nobody starts fighting in my house, nobody starts throwing any food at each other, I'll go along with you. An hour goes by, everybody's here except her boyfriend. And, she's happy. My youngest daughter's really happy. She's come out a little bit out of her, kind of depression and crying phases. And then the doorbell rings. And I'm like, I look at my oldest daughter. She has a smile on her face, like, I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. So then I go answer the door, and I open it, and I'm just like, hi. And, he's like, hello. I was like, well, come on in. And my youngest daughter yells at, who is it? I mean, I thought everybody was here. And I'm like, oh, well, it's a surprise. Actually, it's a guest for you. Until she gets up and she comes into the foyer area. And she's like, who invited him? I put my hands up. I'm like, I'm not involved. I'm not involved. And guess what? All hell breaks loose. Oh my gosh. It got so bad. I had to send everybody home. Hello? Hold on a minute. Hey, what's up? Hi, Mom. I just wanted to come in here and tell you that I'm so sorry for embarrassing you in front of Robert and all of your guests and everything. It's okay, baby. I'm just, sitting in here, just, taking some time out. Okay, Mom, that's fine. Matthew and I are going to go out for some coffee and we're going to talk about it, but, I went ahead and told Cissy that if she ever does anything like this ever again, that we're not friends ever. Really? That's what you told her? Come on. Over a guy? Yes, Mom, over a guy. And Becky, she is not allowed to come here anymore until I decide. Oh, you know what? That's fine. I'm gonna go. Okay, you and Matthew go out and have a good time with your coffee, and I'll give Robert a call. Thanks, Mom. I love you so much. I love you too, baby. Okay, bye. I am so sorry about that. Yeah, it was really a big deal. Now you finally know his name. His name is Matthew. They were just arguing. There was no punches thrown. It was just a lot of arguing, a lot of screaming. Becky got in the middle of it, and that went horribly wrong. So now, obviously, you see that Becky has been miscommunicated out of our life right now until my youngest daughter decides. And I'm sure now I'm going to have to deal with Cissy now on it. Because, Cissy did start this whole entire drama situation. But, that's Cissy. She's been doing that since they were little. Okay, well, at least Matthew is talking to my baby girl now. That's a good thing. Hey, yeah, thanks for understanding. Yeah, I know it got crazy, but I'm glad you understand. Yeah, I got a few things that I need to do today, but once I'm done, I can text you or call you and we can meet at that little cafe you were talking about. Okay. Well, you have a good rest of your day and I'll see you soon. All right, bye. Yes, that was Robert. I really like him. He's different than my husband was, but he seems to be just as loving. I really don't talk about, how my husband died, because it was, really devastating for my kids and of course for me. So yeah, we just, we talk about it at times. We have once a year that we go visit his gravesite. And, the girls get really, really, emotional about it. But yeah, Robert, he's a really great guy. So, oh my goodness. So I guess my youngest daughter and Matthew are back together. Which is great because anytime you have someone walking around the entire house, slamming doors, huffing and puffing, having cry spells, it really makes the mood in the house unbearable. So yeah, maybe one day I'll share, a little bit about my past with my husband, rest in peace. But, excited about the relationship growing with Robert. And so now the thing we got to deal with is Becky. Right now, it doesn't look good for Becky right now. So, my youngest daughter always seems to get her way, but I think I'm going to have to tug on her just a little bit because, Cissy really, that's been our best friend since grade school. So yes, everything is kind of back to normal. Oh my goodness, I am so glad that is over with. My neighbor Sheryl, her and her husband came back from vacation, and I knew as soon as I saw her walking across the street exactly where she was coming, to the house. So I met her outside. So she was like, "Oh, thank you, Sharon, for watching our house. We really, really, really appreciated it." I'm like, "Sure, I really didn't do anything. But, I did notice that you guys had like this bullhorn that would blast your husband's voice when I saw Larry and his kids walking over in your yard." She's like, "Oh, yes, we got that right before we left. It's technology that's connected to my husband's cell phone. And, we can watch from our phone, whoever comes in our yard. And anytime Larry and his kids walked in our yard or was in our yard, my husband would be like, in the bullhorn, 'Get out of my yard.'" It would scare them so. We have so many videos. And I'm like, "Oh, okay. You're a really nice neighbor." She's like, "It's, our grass is so important to us. My husband really takes a lot of, time to take care of it and all of those things." I was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I see you guys have a big Marmaduke dog now. You got that when you went on vacation?" She's like, "Oh my gosh, yes. Funny story. But I won't tell you the details. Anyway, yes, we got the dog because we really just want to scare Larry and his kids." I'm like, "Scare them? Aren't you afraid of legal action? If the dog bites his kids or him?" She's like, no, that won't happen. He's really a friendly dog. We just put him out there for show. With the bullhorn and all of that stuff. I think it'll keep Larry and his kids out of our yard." And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe, because it was late at night when that bullhorn went off and I almost called the police." She was like, "Oh my gosh, you didn't call the police, did you?" I'm like, "No. I looked outside and I saw Larry and his kids walking from your yard. So I figured it was something that, you guys had going on over there. So, well, I'm glad you're back and I got to go." And she's like, "Okay, bye." Yeah, I'm trying to get ready for work. Okay, bye. Now, those girls know that I have to leave the house at a certain time. They want to drag on the conversation about what happened with Matthew, what happened with Becky, and that they're so apologetic about embarrassing me in front of Robert. And I told them, I'm not embarrassed with Robert. I've already talked to him on the phone. He's perfectly fine. So then they go on to say that they're thinking about going on a small summer vacation, just a couple of days down in Florida. And I'm like, fine, have fun. And they're like, well, we want you to go and we want Robert to go. And I'm just like, no, I gotta work. Plus, I think it would just be better for you and Matthew and Becky and your sister and you guys to go. And she's like, yes, I know, Mom, but we feel like we never invite you to anything that we do. So, Cissy and I have decided that maybe our mom should, come with us. And I said, come with you for what? She's like, when we're, I don't know, when we're out on the beach and, I know that you don't like to really go in the ocean, that you will sit there and watch our stuff. So you want me to go to the beach with you so I can sit underneath the tent and watch your items? She's like, well, no, Mom. I mean, I don't mean it like that, but kind of, sort of, yeah. So now I'm a watchdog. I have been demoted to a watchdog. So no, I declined and I said, you guys go and have fun. I hope you find someone to watch your things on the beach. But I'm not going and Robert's not going. So you have a really, really great time. And she's like, Mom, I'm so sorry. I hope you didn't take offense to it in any way, shape, or form. I'm like, please, just leave me alone right now. I need to get ready for work. I love you. Have a great time. Call me when you get down there. Call me when you're on your way back. And hopefully you and Matthew will not get in a fight with Becky. She was like, oh, so we're playing get back now. Yes, we are.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? No, that is not how I feel. I'm singing that song because I'm out here on a Sunday, beautiful day, and, going through my garden, and Sheryl from across the street decides she wants to come and visit. Unannounced now, unannounced. I happen to have my back turned, and then I get up to turn around to put my, my vegetables in the basket. She's standing there like this. I'm like, hello, Sheryl. How can I help you? She's like, did you see the lady that just moved in? I'm like, I don't really pay attention to who moves in and moves out, really. I just mind my own business. And she's like, well, I went over there and I introduced myself to her, and I think we're going to have a problem. What problem? There's never a problem. I don't have a problem. I'm good. Like, I stay in my own yard. I stay in my own house. And I don't walk around and bother people. She's like, well, let me go ahead and tell you, where I see the problem. And I'm just like, I really want to finish doing what I'm doing. And she's like, it won't take that long. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, okay, tell me what the problem is going to be. She's like, okay, so when I went over there and I, took some cookies, a basket of cookies or whatever, like I always do. I'm like, yeah, like you always do. She's like, yeah, she opened the door and she had these really, really long nails, like super long. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot of people wear really long nails. So what's the problem? Well, when I gave her the dish, I was like, hi, my name is Sheryl. Welcome to the community. And I handed her the dish. And since her nails were so long, she dropped my glass dish. Okay, so what's the problem? Go buy another dish. She just looked at me up and down and she was like, I hope you clean that up. I was taken back. I brought her over cookies and she dropped my dish. The love of God. There's just no good neighbors anymore. You are not going to believe what happened. I mean, all I can do is laugh at this point. That's all I can do. So, remember when I told you that my daughters were going down to Florida? And my youngest one asked me if I wanted to go, Robert and I. And, I declined because all they're going to want me to do is go down there, sit on the beach, and wash their things. And I'm just like, that's not a vacation for me. So, no, I declined. Come to find out. Now, when they got to where they were going, they called me. Didn't say anything. When they left, they called me to say they were coming home. Didn't say anything. They come in the house, just talking and chatting. And my youngest is like, hey, Mom, we got you a souvenir. I'm like, really? What did you get? From Florida, whatever. You got taffy? What did you get? She's like, no, we got you a magnet. This is the magnet she gave me. I'm like, Costa Rica? She's like, oh, yes. Since you decided that you didn't want to go to Florida, we just went ahead and made reservations to Costa Rica, and we had a really good time. I'm like, you went to Costa Rica without me. She's like, oh my gosh, Mom, you said you didn't want to go to the beach. I said I didn't want to go to Florida. She's like, well, we got you a magnet. What do you want? What do I want? I want you to be communicative to me. So I'm like, fine, whatever. I said, well, it doesn't really matter. I said, because Robert is taking me on a 7-day cruise on the Princess. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we're leaving next week. She's like, well, you need to give me the information so we can book or to get on the boat too. I'm like, why? You guys just came from Costa Rica. She's like, Mom, you're not going to be on the boat with Robert for 7 days. Like, that's too long to be gone. I'm like, you were gone for 3 days and I was fine. She's like, no. Give me the information so we can book or you're not going. I'm like, who's the mom here? Me or you guys? She says, well, right now, it looks like that I'm the mom. I don't know if anyone else deals with children like this, but mine are monsters. Exciting times. I'm here waiting. I have an eye appointment before we leave to go on our 7-day cruise. Monday, as a matter of fact. So yes, Robert, he is such a great guy. He actually agreed for the girls to go with us on our 7-day cruise. I couldn't believe it when he told me. I told him about it, and he was like, you know what? Oh, I got something in my eye. He's like, yeah, sure. And he even paid for it. Like, he paid for it. So what's so exciting is that we'll be staying in a room that has a balcony. They'll be staying one floor below us on the opposite side of the ship. But they will also be in a balcony room. So we will kind of have, a little bit of privacy from them. So when I told Cissy and my youngest daughter, my Sissy was like, great, whatever, woohoo, she's just kind of like goes along with the flow. But my youngest, she's like, oh, so he paid for it. I mean, that's the least he could do. I don't know. I think I did not discipline my youngest enough. So, no, but she was really happy. She was like, despite of him paying for it, I'm just really glad that he agreed that we could go because really, it would be a really big fight if he had not. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give that to you. I understand how you want to protect me, how Robert is going to have to convince you that he is not a serial killer. He is not one of those guys that, you know, goes out and, chops up women and all that crazy stuff. So she's like, yes, Mom, I know, I know, I know. So yeah, but I'm excited to go. Like, I've never been on the Princess Cruise before, so it's going to be really interesting. I hear that it's a great cruise line. So yeah, I am. My summer's just going really well. It's going really well. I will have to tell you about our new neighbor that lives next door to us. That will be my next video. It was an interesting situation. Ooh, it is a nice day out here today. I thought I'd come out for a little while. I've been packing since this morning. You know how us women are. We feel like we got to bring our entire closet. It's only 7 days. It's not like I'm going to be gone a month. But, I just thought I'd come out here and sit and chill for a little while before I get back to it. And, while I was sitting out here, my phone notified me that someone was at the front door. And so, I just walked around. I saw who it was, and it looked like the lady that just moved into the neighborhood. So I walked around, and I was like, hi, I'm Sharon. Can I help you? And she's like, oh, hello. I am, I'm just a new neighbor. I just moved in. And I was like, oh, yes, hi. Noticed her nails. Probably about that long. And, they were all decorated or whatever. And, she talks with her hands. This is how she talks. I notice these things. So anyway, she was just, telling me that her and her husband just moved here from California, and, they really, like the area and everything. I was like, oh, yeah, it's real nice. And she was like, well, I really have a question. The lady that lives up there on the hill, I'm like, oh, you're talking about Sheryl. And she's like, oh, that's her name. I was like, oh, she didn't tell you? And she's like, oh, she probably did, but I don't remember. And so I was like, yeah, she's one of our busybody neighbors. And she's like, yeah, I noticed that. So anyway, and I was just like, well, she bothering you or something? She's like, no, not really. She did come up to the house and she brought some cookies, and, the dish dropped and broke. And of course I told her she needed to clean it up. I wasn't trying to be rude or anything, but, she did drop them. And I was like, oh, it's okay. Is there anything else that is wrong? And she's like, well, she goes, yeah, why do they have that bullhorn? And I'm like, I don't know. It's been up there for about, a couple of weeks. And they're like, oh, okay. Is there anything else that I need to know about them? They seem to have like SWAT team lights around their house. They have this really dog that barks like all night long. And I'm just like, well, we kind of have this neighbor. His name is Larry. And for whatever reason, he likes going into, their yard. And she's like, gosh, we really like the house, but I don't know about the neighborhood. Oh my goodness, it is raining outside. We just got back. Robert, oh my gosh, Robert. He took me out to an early dinner. And, the girls met up there. But, yeah, we leave driving to Florida tomorrow. But, yeah, I'm like super excited about it. I don't even know how to start. I guess I'll start it this way. I'll show you. This is a promise ring from Robert. Look how glamorous that is. It is so beautiful. I wasn't expecting it. Oh my gosh. I wasn't expecting it.
So yeah. So 7-day cruise, promise ring, and guess what I got out of my girls? You know, the youngest one. Well, I'll first tell you how Cissy was. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for my mom. It's been 7 years, since our dad died. And she just like took all of her energy and put into us. And, we're really excited for you. And this is my youngest over there like this. Speak for yourself, Sissy. I mean, yes, I'm really happy for mom. And you, Robert, like, you're really this great guy and everything, but you will never replace our father, like, ever. And I'm sitting over like this, looking at Robert. Robert is such a gentleman. He was like, well, I never intended to replace your father. I love your mother. She deserves happiness. And this promise ring that I'm giving your mother is just letting her know that my future with her is sealed. And she was like, okay, check. Hey, I just wanted to show you my dress that I'm wearing tonight. Is our last night on the boat. And yeah, I had like a really, really great time. Not gonna lie, that Robert made it memories to never forget. But I just wanted to show you guys my beautiful dress. I had bought this like when we first went on our first date, but I didn't wear it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take it on the ship with me. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. The girls are on the opposite side and they are down below one floor. So yeah, so Robert and I have had a lot of time just, together, alone time. Nothing, like I said, he's a real gentleman. I will say that. He's a real gentleman. We've been dating for going on 7 or 8 months. And let me tell you, this is how much of a gentleman he is. We have not been intimate. I know I'm saying that. Someone would be like, really? And you know why? You know why he told me that he don't want to be intimate? He says, I want to get to know you without knowing your body. I don't know any guy in the entire universe that's like that. But I'm sure there's people out there like that. I know they are. I'm just glad that I met one that is that guy. And so it's really made our relationship like really bond and really close. And, the fact that, he gave me the promise ring, it really shows me that, he's really serious. His wife died a few years ago. He was very devastated. It was a sudden illness. And she passed away suddenly. He doesn't really like talking about it, and I don't pressure him about it. So we're two widowers getting to know each other. Both of us are still rather young. And so we got a lot of excitement. So yeah, our last night, and I just wanted you guys to show you off this beautiful dress that I bought in my beautiful body. Like, hey, she still got it. Now, let me pull down a little bit, let y'all see. Say, okay, honey, okay. I'm going to stop the show. You know that I am. Oh, goodness.